All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's go and jump into the video immediately, guys.
Have you decided you're definitely going to send National Guard troops to Chicago?
I didn't say when, but the answer is, look,
Okay.
Chicago's very interesting because I watched Pritzker get up and say about, we don't need help, we're safe. But 2 weeks ago, they had 6 people murdered, and they had 24 people hit by bullets. Last week, as you know, it was 7 people, 24 people hit, and 7 people died. And then over the last 2 days, that was the crown jewel. They had, I guess, 9 or 10 killed, and 50 hit with bullets. And you have this governor get up, who's a terrible governor. Probably he and Gavin Newsom would be probably the 2 worst and most naive. They're naive. Either they're naive or they're very untruthful.
New
And he'll
scum.
say, we
Jesus
don't want
Christ, guys.
any protection. We don't need. So in the last 3 weeks, he's lost almost 20 people killed. There's no place in the world, including you can go to Afghanistan, you can go to places that you would think of. They don't even come close to this. Chicago is a hellhole right now. Baltimore is a hellhole right now. Parts of Los Angeles are terrible. If we didn't put out the fires, and I mean the other fires, the bullet fires,
Right.
they didn't do a good job with, they should have had the water coming down, like I said. You know, we had to release the water. We had to go in and release the water to LA. It's so badly run. But if I didn't send the National Guard into Los Angeles, I would be making an announcement today. I'd be talking about Huntsville, and I'd simultaneously be saying, by the way, the Olympics is not coming to Los Angeles. If we didn't do that, and even the sheriff, the top law enforcement person in Los Angeles said, we could not have handled it without them.
Right.
So that's what he said.
Yeah, guys, because Karen Bass was doing nothing. She wasn't even there, guys, right? Gavin Newsom came basically after everything was, kind of getting fixed for the most part here. So, yeah, if Trump did not send all these individuals in to actually try to do something to kind of mitigate the issue here, then, in fact, it would have been much worse. We would have been talking about Huntsville along with that area that was on fire, guys, in fact. Guys, yeah, listen, we need to send people to Chicago immediately. Send as many as humanly possible. I would not say that J.B. Pritzker is the worst governor in like the history of governors. Let's just say this here. But it would be great if he could understand that, hey, listen, maybe this is above us. The problem that we are dealing with in the state of Illinois, maybe we just can't handle it. Enough talking, more action, guys.
Up on Chicago, though?
Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in. Okay. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation. When we lose, when 20 people are killed over the last 2.5 weeks, and 75 are shot with bullets. So let me tell you a little story about a place called D.C., District of Columbia, right here where we are. It's now a safe zone. We have no crime. It's in such great shape. You can go and actually walk with your children, your wife, your husband. You can walk right down the middle of the street. You're not going to be shot, Peter. You're safe. Everyone likes you anyway. They probably wouldn't do it. But it's so dangerous. And there are people in this audience you've suffered greatly. There are people in this audience that have been mugged and hurt badly, and they don't want to talk about it. Maybe you were very brave in talking about it. You made quite an impression on a lot of people. I appreciate it. But there were other people in this room that have been hurt very badly just walking down the street in D.C. Washington, D.C. is a safe zone right now. It's a safe city. The restaurants are open. They're booming. You can't get a restaurant. New restaurants are announcing that they're going to be open. This took place in 12 days. Now it's 15 days, but 3 days ago, it became what's known as a safe zone. It's a safe city. And this city was really bad, really, really bad. We took 1,600 people out, hardcore criminals that will not be coming back anytime soon. And we're very proud of it. You know, to have our nation's capital lose every week, it was like years, many years, where every single week somebody was killed for many, many, many consecutive weeks. This went on for years. And then we had last week, it was announced that nobody was killed last week. And I made that announcement in front
That's a
of a
big
very
deal.
distinguished leader of a country.
Yeah, guys, that's a very, very big deal. Like the entirety of my life, I knew that DC is our nation's capital. Absolutely, right? But why is it that it's so crime ridden? Like that was like the running joke growing up in New York. Like DC is the nation's capital, but yet it is like, filled with all types of debaucherous crime. Like you really wouldn't want to be there at nighttime type of thing, but that's our nation's capital, right? Strongest military like on earth, and we can't protect our capital, guys. And understand, guys, I'm not specifically for the concept of turning us into a third world country. I do not want to see soldiers on our streets like that, right? But when it comes down to fixing the problem, if we cannot no longer talk about it, where people would actually listen, where the people that are doing all these heinous acts, let's say, are coming from households where we're communicating, it would be enough for the most part to kind of mitigate an issue. Then I guess we're going to have to kind of use the stick, if that makes any sense, guys. No more carrots. It's going to need the stick.
I'm saying proudly, ladies and gentlemen, nobody was killed in Washington, D.C. this week. He looked at me like, what's that all about? I say, yeah, we have a little bit of a crime problem. And we don't have a crime problem in Washington anymore. And the mayor has been very helpful. And the police commission has been very helpful. And it's been a great team. And I would love to have Governor Pritzker call me. I'd gain respect for him and say, we do have a problem. And we'd love you to send in the troops because you know what? The people, they have to be protected. I saw today on one of your networks, not a friendly network, really the opposite, I would say, very unfriendly network. And they interviewed about 12 people on this morning. Most of them were African American, they were black. And they were saying, please, please, please let the president send in. These were people from Chicago. Please, we need help. We need help. We can't walk outside. We're petrified. If the governor of Illinois would call me up, I would love to do it. Now, we're going to do it anyway. We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country.
Right.
And that includes Baltimore. I saw where Governor Moore was asking me to take a walk down the street of Baltimore. Well, Baltimore is a very unsafe place. It's rated number 4 in the city, one of the most unsafe places anywhere in the world. But, we took care. This was a beautiful thing that happened in Washington because we showed that it could be done. And this wasn't just sending big, strong guys, and they are big and they are strong. We had a great decision from the Supreme Court that had to do with sort of talent. It had to do with you are put down based on merit. You can hire based on merit. So merit for a soldier or for a policeman is strong,
right?
Physically fit,
has it.
Having a certain ability, not a person that is woke and got the job through woke, but wasn't strong enough to lift a gun out of the holster, et cetera, et cetera. No, I look.
Okay, guys, hold on here. I agree with this here. I do not think that DEI should be in anything military, police oriented, guys. I mean, I say this all the time. You guys yell at me in the comments, and when I say some things, you're like, "Hey, listen, why is it that there's some parts of the population, let's say, they become police officers, and then they immediately, before doing anything, they pull their firearm out because they're scared for their life, faster than other people would be because it just doesn't make any sense." But either way, listen, guys, this should definitely be strength requirements to become a police officer. You should have a pretty non-emotional sense of being as a police officer. I think you need to, the letter of the law is pretty logical, guys. You get what I mean here, guys? I'm just trying to explain some things here because people yell at me in the comments. Listen, do whatever you want to do with your life, but as long as you have the ability to bench press 270, I'm fine. That's where I'm at. All right. If you can't bench press 270, I don't think you should become a police officer. That may be excessive, but that weeds out a lot of nonsense. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and we should have the best of the best. Maybe 270 is too much. 225, 10 times. 245 plates in the bar. At least 10 times. If you can't do that, I don't know if you should be a police officer. And again, that weeds out a lot of nonsense, guys. All right. I think the police officers and people in the military should absolutely be imposing, physically imposing. I think we should look at them and be like, I'm scared for my life. I don't want to go. I'm not going down that street. All right. That's how it should be, but that's not how it is. All right. But either way, listen, respect, send them immediately to Chicago. What's interesting is that J.B. Pritzker, you know, he's one of these Democrats that are the common typical Democrat that basically only cares about the concept of like black voters when his election is up, if that makes any sense here. That's when it matters the most. Then he'll basically, kowtow, shill directly to the black American community, and then basically get what he wants, promising we're going to fix things, never actually fix things, right? While the left basically hates Trump, says Trump's all these crazy things, but he's the only one trying to help the black people on the south side of Chicago, the west side of Chicago. Guys, this is a contradiction. Like, how do you get away with this? How are they getting away with, guys, listen, I do not pay attention to either side too deeply because I do understand that both sides have the ability to basically kind of just speak to their echo chamber and nonsense and some more nonsense, let's just say. But in this instance, it's pretty obvious in your face here. Okay, if you have people that are coming from the west side and south side of Chicago, and these are black individuals that are literally they're having to live in this area, and they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, okay, of literally not being able to go outside and worrying if their kid is going to, expire within the next day or two, and they're saying, "Nah, listen, bro, the police are doing nothing. The governor is doing nothing. Can you please send the National Guard to basically clean up O Block? Okay, can you please do it?" That's basically what they're saying here, and I respect it. Yes, right, and there are definitely a lot more places that he just mentioned that need some National Guard help. Okay, but all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And again, sorry for my voice, guys. I have like bronchitis or something. I'm kind of all over the place, breathing wise. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. I'll catch you guys later. I don't know what to say now. But all right, listen, I'll catch you guys later.